Number 7. The waiting illusion. Waiting feels longer when you're doing nothing, but shorter when you're distracted. That sounds simple, almost too simple. But underneath it, something very complex is happening inside your brain. Your brain doesn't measure time like a clock. Instead, it measures how much attention you're giving to the moment. When you're standing in a slow line with nothing to do, your brain keeps checking the time. Again and again. Each time you check, your brain creates a mental marker. Another reminder that time is passing, so the wait starts to feel heavier, longer, more frustrating. But when you're busy scrolling your phone or talking to someone, your brain stops monitoring time so closely. And suddenly, 10 minutes disappears. That's why a short delay can feel unbearable when you're bored. But a long activity can feel fast when you're engaged. Time didn't slow down, your attention just zoomed in on it. And once you notice this, you start seeing how many everyday frustrations are actually attention problems in disguise. Because the next thing we do every day is even stranger. Number 6. The memory rewrite. You trust your memories. Most people do. They feel solid, clear, reliable. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Your memories are not recordings. They are reconstructions. Every time you remember something, your brain doesn't pull out a perfect file. It rebuilds the memory from pieces. Pieces of facts, pieces of emotions, pieces of assumptions, and during that rebuilding process, small changes sneak in, details shift slightly, conversations become sharper, emotions become stronger. Over time, the memory evolves. That's why two people can experience the same moment and later disagree about what happened. They're not lying. Their brain simply rebuilt the memory differently. Your mind isn't storing the past, it's editing it. Quietly, constantly. And that means some emotions you carry today might be based on memories that slowly changed over time. But memory isn't the only thing your brain edits. There's another system working silently every second of your life. Number 5. The attention filter. Right now, thousands of things are happening around you. Tiny sounds in the distance, movements in your peripheral vision, changes in temperature, but you're only aware of a few of them. Not because the rest aren't there, but because your brain is filtering them out. Your brain has to do this. Otherwise, you would feel overwhelmed instantly. So your brain created a powerful system called the attention filter. This filter decides what enters your awareness before you even realize it, and it works automatically. That's why you can sit in a noisy place and ignore many conversations. Until someone says your name, suddenly your attention snaps toward that sound. Your brain was listening the whole time, but it only allowed that signal to pass through the filter. It's also why you can search for something while it's right in front of you. Your eyes saw it, but your attention didn't select it. And here's the deeper insight. Most of your daily experience is not about what exists. It's about what your brain allows you to notice, which means many answers in life might already be in front of you, just outside your attention. Number 4. The comfort trap. You think comfort makes life easier, and in many ways it does. But comfort has a hidden side effect that most people never notice. It slowly shrinks your world. Your brain is designed to protect you from risk. So whenever you find something familiar, a routine, a place, a habit, your brain labels it as safe. And once something feels safe, your brain wants to stay there. That's why people keep the same schedule for years. Eat the same meals, take the same routes, talk to the same people. Not because they love it, but because it feels predictable. Comfort reduces uncertainty, and your brain loves certainty. But here's the hidden truth. Growth always lives just outside comfort. Learning a new skill feels awkward. Meeting new people feels uncomfortable. Trying something different feels risky. So your brain sends a signal, stay where you are. And slowly, without realizing it, your comfort zone becomes your cage. Nothing dramatic happens, no big warning signs, just small decisions. Repeated daily. Choosing easy over challenging. Familiar over new. Safe over uncertain. And years later, many people look back and wonder why life feels stuck. Not because they failed, but because they stayed comfortable. And once you see this pattern, you start noticing another everyday system that quietly controls your behavior. A system that decides what you do tomorrow based on what you did yesterday. Number 3, the habit loop. Most people believe they make decisions all day, but the truth is, they don't. They repeat patterns. Your brain loves habits because habits save energy. Every decision requires mental effort, so your brain creates shortcuts. It turns repeated actions into automatic routines. Wake up, check your phone, brush your teeth, sit in the same place. Follow the same steps. At first, you choose these actions, but after enough repetition, the habit chooses you. And the scary part is this: you can follow a habit without even thinking. That's why you sometimes arrive somewhere and don't remember the drive. Your body moved, your brain executed the routine. Your awareness stayed on autopilot. Habits are powerful because they remove friction, but they're also dangerous because they remove awareness. A good habit can build your life one day at a time. A bad habit can quietly damage your life in the exact same way. And most habits don't feel important in the moment. Skipping one workout, scrolling a little longer, delaying one task. But habits are not about one action. They're about repetition. Small actions, repeated daily, become your future. And once you understand habits, you start seeing something even deeper. A force that controls your reactions before you even realize what's happening. Number 2, the emotion shortcut. You think you make decisions using logic, but most of the time, you don't. You use emotion. Your brain processes feelings much faster than thoughts. So when something happens, emotion arrives first. Logic comes later. That's why you can feel angry before you understand why. Why you can feel nervous before you see the danger. Why you can make a decision and only justify it afterward. Emotion is your brain's shortcut. It helps you react quickly in uncertain situations. And most of the time, that shortcut works. But sometimes it leads you in the wrong direction. Buying something you don't need. Saying something you regret. Avoiding something that could help you. Because the emotional signal felt urgent, even if it wasn't accurate. And here's the deeper truth. Emotion is not the enemy, but it is not the final decision maker either. The strongest people don't ignore emotions. They pause long enough to question them. They ask, is this feeling true or just fast? And that simple pause changes everything. Because the final everyday system, the one most people never notice, is the force behind nearly every success, every failure, and every life direction. Number 1, the story engine. You don't live your life based on facts. You live your life based on stories. Not the stories you tell others, the stories you tell yourself. Your brain is constantly creating explanations about who you are, about what you can do, about what your future will look like. And once a story forms, your brain starts protecting it. If your story says, I'm bad at math, you stop trying. If your story says, people don't like me, you become quiet. If your story says, I always fail, you expect disappointment. And slowly, those expectations begin to shape your behavior. You hesitate. You avoid risks. You give up earlier. Not because the world decided your limits, but because your story did. Here's the powerful part. Your brain looks for evidence that supports your story. If you believe you're unlucky, you notice every bad moment. If you believe you're not talented, you remember every mistake. If you believe you're behind in life, you compare yourself to others constantly. The story becomes a filter, and the filter becomes your reality. But the story itself was never permanent. It was built from past experiences, from comments you heard, from failures you felt, from fears you carried. And once you realize that, something shifts. Because if your brain can create a story, it can also rewrite it. Not instantly, not magically, but gradually. Through new actions, new evidence, new experiences. One small success, one brave decision, one different response. That's how stories change. And here's the simple truth most people discover too late. Your life is not controlled by time, not controlled by luck, not controlled by talent. It is controlled by the story running quietly in your mind every single day.